Hello, hello, hello. Uh, Today's a different class. You know, you like to keep a lot of classes different, keep things spicy and interesting. So that's what we're going to do today. So, what we have here, you might be wondering, where is the kitty cam? Well, you actually do have a kitty cam, but it is a kitty cam of a different feather today. Cats aren't birds. Anyway, let's not think too hard about that. Let's get into what's happening today. So, today we're going to be talking about hash tables for the first time. And your introduction to hash tables is going to be kitty hashing. So, hash tables are stored in arrays. So, um, we've been doing linked structures and trees for what seems like years now. And so now we're going back to the humble yet powerful array. And so this is an array of 10 values. And so what we're going to be talking about today is a hash table, which is a key value store. So much like the balanced binary search tree, where you could supply a key and a value, and then later to store something, and then later, given the key, get the value back. A hash table does the same exact operation. Now, when we're doing adds, retrieves, and deletes, how fast is that on a balanced binary search tree? Really hope you know at this point. That is linear, or sorry, logarithmic time. Do I know at this point? So that's logarithmic time. Hash tables uh, do the same key value store operation, except they don't make any promises about getting the values out in sorted key order. So when we talked earlier about the abstract data type map and how you have ordered maps and unordered maps, balanced binary search trees implement an ordered map. Today we're going to be talking about an unordered map, which is a map that doesn't have that kind of sorting property. So why would you use an unordered map? Well, it doesn't give you that sorting thing, so we would hope that it's faster. Actually, there's a dog butt down here in the thing. But yeah, we would use an unordered map probably because it's faster. And hash tables are faster. So what asymptotic performance would be faster than log? Constant time. That's really fast. So we have an array, and what we have stored in this array are some little cuties, little baby cuties, cuties. Okay? And so what we're going to do, the value are the kitties, and the key is going to be a method I have developed very scientifically. And let me just say, no kitties, certainly no kitties were harmed in the development of this scoring mechanism, this hashing mechanism, so don't worry about it. It's okay. Also, I want everyone to know, and I want everyone to know that total kitty score is not a quality score. It's merely a way of finding a home for the kitties. So if one kitty gets a higher score than another kitty, that doesn't mean anything because they're both amazing kitties. And I'm going to say kitty a lot today, and I like saying kitty, so yeah. All right, here we go. So, first, so we have a bunch of kitties stored in here in our data structure. So now, oh, let me where's oh am I on uh, 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 aha. Aha. Let's make it bigger for today. Whoop. Excellent. All right. So now we have our envelopes and we have our kitties here. So here's our first batch of kitties. So let's talk about total kitten score. Let's talk about the total kitten score. So how total kitten score works, this is, my creation. Millions of dollars were spent of grant money to come up with this total kitten score. Um, every kitten in an image is given a total kitten score or a kitten score, and then the total kitten score is the kitten scores, the sum of the kitten scores of all the kittens in the picture. So here we have plus 2 points for a kitty that is sitting or standing. Uh, and so since both of them appear to be seated or standing, it's kind of hard to tell. They both get 2 points. So that's 4 points total for sitting and standing. Then orangeness, none of these kitties are orange. Blackness, these kitties have some black in their fur, so we're gonna count that. So that's 1 point. 3 points for grayness. They also have some grayness in their fur. Excellent. +1 for a fluffy kitty. All right. So first of all, as total cat score commissioner, I get to determine fluffiness. These are fluffy kitties. They're fluffy kitties. They're definitely fluffy kitties. So they get each a point for being fluffy, bringing us to 2 points for that. Then +1 for tabbies. These are tabby kitties. Tabby kitties are the ones with these kind of tiger stripes situations, and they usually come in gray and orange varieties. So these are tabby kitties. None of these kitties are mid-mew. They're both remaining silent. They're posing. I mean, they're just posing like, hey, what's up? We're going to pose for this picture. And neither of them are laying down. And then ×2. So overall, ×2 for a kitty in a costume. So why is that such a large multiplier? That's a large multiplier given out in loving memory and respect of the people who put those kitties in the costume. They're probably not around anymore because kitties usually don't like being put in costumes. It's true. So it's kind of it's out of respect that we're adding that multiplier there. So after we beep boop beep boop 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 beep beep beep, the total kitten score for this image is 16. So where are these kitties? Where do we find these kitties? Well, there's 10 slots in our hash table. So this is our hash table of kitties. And so the way it works is we want to get to our kitties in constant time. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our kitties total kitty score, and then we're going to divide it, we're going to modulo divide it by the amount of slots in our hash table. So if I had 11 slots or 12 slots, I'd mod by 11 or 12, but here I have 10 slots for the sake of simplicity. So we're going to do 16 mod 10 to find the slot that the kitty is in. So where is the kitty? This is 16 mod 10 is 6. So let's see. So this is one operation, right? We computed the total kitty score, and then we mod it by 10, that's constant time, to get 6. We're doing an array access, so we're only looking at 6. So currently we are still hanging out at constant time. So let's get it up. Let's get over here. Let's get it up on the big board. Oh my gosh, it's our kitties. It's our kitties. Look at that. They were in 6. Excellent. They're right where we expected them to be. Very good. Oh, that looks like 9 now. All right. Let's go back to the kitties. All right. So let's go to our next set of kitties. So our goal again is to find these kitties. So here, not as many points here. There's no, there's a lot of orangeness going on, which is good. These are very, very small, almost illegally small kitties. We're gonna have to send them to Small Kitty Penitentiary Center. But I will summarize that the total kitty score for these 3 kitties, 14. 14 for these 3 kitties. So, how do we find these kitties? Again, we're looking for a constant time operation. So we're going to do that 14 mod 10 to get 4, and we're just going to go directly to 4. Just bam. And so hopefully you're seeing how fast this was. If this was a binary search tree, we'd have to look at the root and go to the left and right. So we're just going right to 4. Going right to 4. It's our kitties. Ooh. Nice. We found our kitties. So there's just one. Boop. All right, what about this guy? Now, let's see. Let's see here. This kitty is not fluffy. He's fuzzy. He's nearly fluffy, but he's not fluffy. And let me make sure I agree. All right, that's a fluffy kitty. However, what he lacks, or she, what this little kitty lacks in fluffiness, makes up for in rompiness. Look at this kitty! It's so fluffy. It's well not fluffy. It's so fuzzy and it's ready to go. It's got a foot up. It's ready to go play. It's gonna go hang out and be like, hey, this is a rompy kitty. This is a uh doctor. Oh. This is this is a Dr. Johnson certified. You always have to capitalize certified rompy kitty. Like this is a rompy kitty. It's about to romp around, cavort, make some friends. Excellent. So, okay, let's look at our total kitty score for this romp master here. So it is sitting or standing. So it's standing. It's got all this orange. We got all this totaled up, not mid mew. TKS is 8 for this one, and that does not take into account any joyful scampering or anything similar, right? It's a rompy kitty. Does not affect its total kitten score. That's just bonus. It's just bonus. So here we go. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So here it's 8, right? So 8 mod 10, still 8. So let's see. Wow, I'm surprised they were able to keep it in this slot because it's ready to go. And you might and and here's just a momentary pause. Don't You might be thinking, has he really gone off his rocker? Is this some weird quarantine video making activity? No, actually, I've been doing this for years. In person, I hand out the slots to everybody, and so I get to ask somebody like, "Is this your kitty?" And so we're doing it here on my desk at home. I think comes across a little bit weirder in this environment, even than it does in person. So I'm aware of that, but we're gonna have fun anyway. Let's have fun. Yes. We could talk about modulo arithmetic and all this other stuff by itself, or we could go look for some kitties. I opt, good sir, ladies and gentlemen, for the kitty hunt. All right, here we go. Back to the kitty one. Oh, these have got some strong blue eyes. These kitties, they're strong. They're strong blue eyes. But there's a concern here. These kitties, per our kitty scoring mechanism, look like they're going to get a very similar score to our first kitties. That's that's concerning. And they do. So now, uh-oh. If I go to 6 now, who am I going to find? Well, if this was a magic trick, it would be the right kitties, but it's not. It's the it's the other kitties, right? It's the first kitties. So, what do I do now if I don't find the kitties that I'm looking for? So, what happened when these kitties were trying to go into this house is they had a bit of a collision, right? They came in, they were going to be inserted in the hash table, and they saw, oh, there's already kitties here. Well, we can only have one kitty picture per slot, so we have to go someplace else to store these kitties. And so you have to think like, well, where would a reasonable place to keep these kitties be? So if they're not at 6, 6 is where their total kitty score would make you think they are. Where might they be instead? And so what happened here is what's called a hash collision. Our total kitten score is our hash function that's hashing these images. And so what has happened now is that two values that have gone into the hash table have tried to go into the same spot. They might not even have the same hash value, right? 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, and so on and so forth. All of those total kitten scores will go to the same spot. So if two items that have tried to go into the hash table enter in at the same spot, what's going to result at some point is a hash collision. And so what we do in a case of a hash collision is resolve it. So we're going to try and figure out where to put the kitties. And there's a bunch of different options that we're going to discuss next lecture. this lecture, let's just think, well, what's an intuitive thing to do? We have limited one kitty picture per slot. Where would we go? Why don't we look in the next spot? Why don't we just look there and boom, there they are. There they are. Let's go to the cat. Yeah, there they are. Look at that. There's our kitties just hanging out. I'm so excited. Hi guys. All right, well, I'll put you back here. So if our hash slot is already uh, taken, we're going to do a linear search for the value we're looking for starting at that point. And because this is a linear search, this process of resolving the hash collision is called linear probing, where it's like we're shooting out a probe through the rest of the hash table in a linear fashion to find the value that we're looking for. Um, linear probing is not the only kind of collision resolution method that we're going to discuss. There are 4 of them. But for today, we're just going to work with linear probing. It's one of the more straightforward um, hash table collision management techniques, other than separate chaining. We'll talk about that next time. All right, so let's look. Who is our next setting? Oh, we got one that's mid-mew. All right. So we got Min Mew. Ooh, that's very exciting. And so this is a total kitten score. This is a heavy hitter, kitty. Look at that. That's 7 points, single kitty. Min Mew tabbies. Whew, can't be stopped. So that's giving us 7. Well, we had a thing that hashed to 6, that we put it in 7, and we've had a thing that hashed to 8. So how is this going to go? So our total kitten score is 7. Let's look here. So we're looking at 7. Is that our kitty? No, it's not. It's not our mid-mew kitty. Because this was the kitty that we just put in, or just found. Is it 8? No, it's Rompy Boy! Hey, get back in there! Oh, you're so exciting. Oh, just settle down. Settle down, buddy. All right, well, what about 9? Do we think it'll be here? Yeah, that's where it is. Ah, hey, hey, this kitten just looks always so happy to see you. Hey guys, I'm Kitten. Life is good. All right. So that's what happens. So we did another set of linear probing. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Get some F's in chat. Get them in there. Get some F's to pay your respects with the noble soul who put these kitties in a costume. Uh-oh. Oh gosh, there it is. So there we go. Total kitten score 11. So I don't know why. Why did they both not get 3? That's 6. And then 4 is 8. Did I mess up my total kitten score? Oh, because one of them is mewing and one of them is not. That's correct. So that is 6. But why did one of them get times 1? I messed up this total kitty score. I don't know what happened here. I'm going to lose my status as commissioner. It's it's sad when the great ones fall. All right. So this one is 11. I think this is just a typo. And there they are. Just boom. 11 mod 10 is 1. Open it up, and they're right there, right? So you don't always have to do linear probing. So we're still going to think about the worst case performance here. We've gotten constant time, but the problem is these hash collisions. Um, these hash collisions are slowing us down, right? Because it's not in the exact spot that we want. And so we're starting to have to really do a lot of this linear probing, which is making this look like a linear search. Okay. Which is not great. This is a lot of kitties. Oh boy. So here's a look at all these scores. This is not, being in a mug does not count as being in a costume. Doesn't count. Even though those are very nice mugs. So this is 33. Woo! Woo! All right, well let's look here. And look, we got all of our kitties. We got them. There they are. Excellent. Excellente. All right. Oh, not fluffy, by the way. See? Not fluffy, not fluffy. Fuzzy? Yes. Fluffy? No. So, not fluffy. Let's see what our total kitten score is. 7. Uh-oh. So we know there's something in 7. We open up 7. Is that our fluffy friend? No, it's the two kitties. Those were already in there. 8, is that going to be our fluffy kitty? No. Oh, it's the rompy kit. Get back in there. All right. Is it 9? Is it 9? Meh. Well, I'm holding it up to the camera here, but I could also just go, ah, hi. Hey, say hey. Hi, Mom. Okay, so then 0. So what happens now is if we hit 9, we're going to just go back around to the front. Okay? And there's a couple ways you can implement that. You could say if while I'm probing, if I hit the end, I reset where I'm probing at to the beginning. Or you could always add, instead of adding 1, you could add 1 and then mod by 10 each time. So, but here we go. We got 0. There he is. It's our fluffy kitty. That's exciting. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we were doing retrieves in there, and we're seeing now that, like, because there's so many kitties in here, sometimes we have to do a lot of steps through with this linear probing to find the kitties that we want. And so as the array holding the hash table gets fuller and fuller, we're going to have more and more collisions. And the more and more collisions we have, the more and more we're going to have to do linear probing, and so the whole operation is going to get slowed down. So we'll think about that for a minute. But for now we're going to perform an insertion. So we're going to put a kitty, we're going to find a home for a kitty. This kitty, that's Tybalt. Tybalt the cat. You've probably seen him once or twice. He's a big guy now. This is him as a kitty. As a baby kitty. His head was so big. Look how big his head is, and it was kind of perfectly spherical. So we're gonna find a home for Tybalt today in this little kitty academy of loveliness. So what is oh, we're on the wrong thing. What is Tybalt's total kitty score? It's 6. So Tibby is 6. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look, where can we put Tibby? Where can we put Tibby the cat? So we look in 6. We know 6 already has something in it. That was the first time we put anything in. 7, 8, 9 do. 0 does. 1? Did we have 1 in 1? Oh yeah, we do have 1 in 1. So what about 2? Is this going to be it? What's in here then? Guys, it's a placeholder pup, right? So kitties and puppies get along. Kitties and puppies are great. And so this placeholder pup is just holding the spot for a kitty who comes along and needs a home. So the placeholder pup, now Tibby has a spot to hang out, and the placeholder pup has done an excellent job. Who's a good boy? That placeholder pup or girl, who knows? We just know that it's a good doggo. All right. Lastly, so when we're in person, this picture does not have much significance because nobody has seen him in full, with his battle station fully operable. But this is a picture of our friend Senator Jules as a kitten. Look at him. Oh wait, no. Oh, I don't have it up yet. Boom! There he is. Oh, look at him. He's such a sweetheart, and it's back before I got central air in my house. There's a big old air conditioner there, but look at that guy. He was such a little dude. He's so big now. He's not around, unfortunately. But yeah, he was a little guy. When we adopted him, his name was Percy, and Percy didn't quite fit. It fit really well. Of all the names that animals have come with, Percy is near the top. Charlie is actually, that's the name that he had when we got him, and Charlie fits perfectly. So there's no need to change Charlie. So Percy became Jules, Senator Jules, that we know and love today, my esteemed colleague and teaching assistant. So let's see, what is Jules's total kitty score? And I remind you that these are not quality measures. They're merely aids to find a home for a kitty. All right, so Jules has 3. So what's nice is Jules would have been hanging out immediately with with where Tibby went, because remember we found that spot for Tibby, but we know Tibby's in there. So let's look at 4. Oh, 4 has those kitties. All right, Tibby, let's keep going, bud. And then let's check out 5. There's the placeholder pup. So they're just gonna hang out together and be buds. Excellent, excellent. So that is an introduction to hash tables using kitty hashing. Um, so why do I do this? Because I think it's a great illustration. It's a visual illustration of the process that you're going to use when you're doing hashing. Next time, I'm going to show you more of the definitions and things like that, but we'll be able to relate back to this exercise as the kitty and so I'll mention like, okay, well when you're doing this modulo or whatever, you're going back to that's where your total kitty score is and things like that. So it's just a working metaphor for hashing that has worked fairly well historically, I've found. So next time we're going to finish up. We're going to define all of these, refresh our memory on how this was defined, and then we're going to be talking about how to avoid collisions, so how to keep the frequency that collisions happens low, and then also when a collision happens, what do we do about it? Today, we saw that we did linear probing. So whenever we had a collision of kitties, we would look in the next spot. We'll talk about other types of uh, collision management techniques. But also today we saw that as the array gets fuller and fuller, it's harder to find. You end up having to do the linear probing more and more often, which you don't want. So one of the collision avoidance strategies, which I'll tell you today, is to just keep the array as keep the array not super full. And so generally the practice is to keep the array about 60% full, I think. And then that way, whenever the array is 60% full, you do the thing that you do with like vectors and dynamic arrays. You double the sizes of the array and then you rehash everything back in. All right. So next time we'll be looking at code and more rigorous, more, mathematically correct definitions of hash tables. But today was just a fun little exercise to kind of give you a grounding, a metaphorical grounding for what's going on here. I'll see you in the next one.